special primary election for the County Council District 5 seat is less than a week away. CTV is continuing our coverage to bring you exclusive interviews with each of those candidates.
And joining us in the studio today is candidate Christopher Wade. Mr. Wade, thank you so much for joining us today.
It's truly my pleasure. Thank you.
Now, you have served as a council member for the town of Cheverly. Why do you now want to represent District 5?
It's a great question. The same reason why I wanted to serve, why I served as a council member. I am son of a pastor as well as a teacher, and our motto in life was faith, family, education, and service, with service being the most important of those all. And it's a call of duty for me to go forward from that. I have 25 years of federal, state, and local government experience. I'm a husband, a father of two young boys who are in the schools, and we need to make sure that we have a system in place to make sure we have smart decisions made on the county level.
And what are some of the key issues that you think need to be addressed in the county?
That's a great question. Number one is public safety. As a council member, I brought back 24/7 policing to the town of Cheverly. That was the first time it happened in a long while. Also, the public safety, dealing with our streets, working with the agency Vision Zero to curb pedestrian accidents and deaths in that aspect. Economic development, right now our budget is 80% property taxes, 20% businesses. We need to reverse that, the same as Montgomery County, Anne Arundel County, Northern Virginia as a whole. So we need to have smart economic development, support businesses to come to the town as a whole from there. We are in a $3 billion deficit on the state level and $170 to $200 million deficit on the county level. Also, our seniors, their property taxes are way too high. We need to make sure that they are the people who are the foundation of Prince George's County, to make sure that they are able to age in place, live in place, and also provide services. Our education systems needs to be improved upon as well. I work in the education system now with community schools, and also our level of community engagement to make sure we have community engagement with our residents.
Now the county is dealing with a deficit. Are you concerned that there might be cuts to the blueprint?
Yes, I work under the blueprint. So I managed the middle school, community school, where we provide full wraparound services, working with elected officials, businesses, nonprofits, to work with our scholars as well as their families, to provide food insecurities, as well as mental health, rental assistance. So yes, I'm very much concerned. The government has put that on the plate to cut that. I was just in Annapolis this past Monday, working with legislators, talking with them to make sure that is something essential that for our scholars and their family members, to make sure that we go forward in the future.
In 2008, the county had to impose 12 furlough days on county employees. But is that something that you would support moving forward to balance out the approximately $170 million budget?
Right, $170 million, which probably be more than that by the time it's done. I'm actually in the viewpoint of looking at every single thing. Number one, we will need to look at our different agencies, look at our contracts we have there, service providers, do a cost-benefit analysis, work with the executive branch to make sure that happens. But I'm open for all, but make sure that our employees in the county government, they're taken care of as well.
Now, there was a dispute over land use of Hospital Hill between Cheverly and Bladensburg. As someone who was on the council for the town of Cheverly, what did you make of that dispute? Right,
I'm actually currently on the council now, which makes another point. I will understand how to be a council member day one because of the fact that I'm a council member. The rest of my opponents, they will have to learn once they get on a position. Ward 1 is actually the ward that I actually represent. That's actually connected right next to the Hospital Hill development. We're just working to make sure that Cheverly, Bladensburg, I work with the mayors there, the council members there, I know them very well, to make sure that we have smart development that comes to the town, comes to the area as a whole. I actually coined it as the gateway to Prince George's County, to make sure that we work together to make sure that we have smart development for senior homes, for development, for smart jobs, as well as for smart rental homes as well.
Now, you talked about economic development being one of your top priorities. If elected, how would you bring or increase the county's economy?
Right. So being the fact that as a council member working with this development, which is Hospital Hill development, which arguably is the largest development since National Harbor, we have to be more business friendly to our developers coming in. What that means is our permitting process, it needs to be moved at a faster pace. Sometimes, unfortunately, it takes a lot to do that, but also development that works for our small businesses. So our EDI fund, working with our EDC office, corporation office, making sure that all our small, hardworking businesses have access to these grants, these legislation from the council that's passed, but also working with our 3 universities. We have Prince George's Community College, Bowie State, as well as University of College Park, to make sure that we're taking our best and brightest, that they're staying in the county, to make sure they provide jobs for them.
And how would you work to really improve quality of life for all residents here in Prince George's? That's
a great question as well. I'll be honest with you. I have 2 little boys. A lot of times, unfortunately, we have to get in our car to go other places such as Northern Virginia, Crofton, D.C. in order to have quality level of services. We need to look at, my slogan is let's thrive in District 5. Unfortunately, we're living right now. We need to make sure that we thrive. So we need to, quality of life means the fact that affordable housing, smart development, entertainment. We have Woodmore economic development there. We have Landover Mall that could be an extension of that, and let that trace go down into where we have the Commander Stadium at, to make sure that we can age in place, eat, work, play situations next to our transportation systems, the Purple Line and things of that nature as well.
Now, regarding public safety, if elected, do you have a plan as far as keeping crime down in the county?
That's correct. As mentioned before, as a council member, we brought back 24/7 policing. We actually rearranged our budget to bring in more force to be able to make sure that happened. What that needs to be done is, the plan is where we need to look at the budget, make sure we have I believe about 500 officers that we're down now. We need to make sure we go on a recruiting hire, go to our universities, even start in high school, start different organizations. I was a member of Police Athletic League, starting the youth to be that gateway into the police force as well, but also just working with our local HOA, civic associations, see what community policing looks like for them, our municipalities as a whole, to make sure that happen. But we need to have a robust public safety. Again, that's community policing, but also dealing with our streets as pedestrian violences, fatalities as well.
Now, you mentioned affordable housing. What does affordable housing mean to you specifically?
Affordable housing means that based on no matter what your income is, if you're a resident of Prince George's County, you're able to survive in the county. Right now, we have a deficit. We also going to be looking at a lot of federal employees are about to lose their job. Unfortunately, my wife is one of them, working for USAID. I understand personally the impact of that, so we need to make sure we work with the state of Maryland as well as local government to make sure that people can actually live in where they are, working with developers to give them incentives, tax incentives to when they build these developments, to make sure that part of that is affordable housing for them as well.
All right, thanks so much for coming in. Really appreciate it.
It's truly my pleasure. Let's thrive in District 5.
All right. Well, the special primary election will be held on March 4th.
Make sure you tune in tomorrow as we'll introduce you to candidate Shayla Adams Stafford, only on CTV News.